we're not waiting for Chang because Chang is on vacation on Hawaii, which is good for him. uh,
Miserable for the rest of us.
exactly. We're not waiting for Matt, who is having his first day at Mozilla and Sumo today. Unfortunately, he's not going to join today because he's doing the new hire orientation thing. So he will join us for the first time next week instead. And we're not waiting. I think we're waiting for Madalena and Rosanna though. So I don't know where they are. They
Kadir,
are supposed to give up. And
Kadir's
Kadir.
off today, right?
Hmm.
Oh, he's off today. That's right. Yeah.
Kadir
Sorry.
is on PTO on the calendar. The rest of the people had no excuses.
Yeah. That's another way of saying it.
But I know
They might.
that the girls were to Brazil or something, so I don't know if they're traveling back.
No, actually, yeah, they were taking the day off today, but they were supposed to join the sumo meeting because they wanted to give a quick presentation of their thoughts and impressions from the Moss camp. So I am expecting them to join, but
Okay.
seeing that we have no one else joining, this might be a.
I'm here. Hi.
Yes,
No,
sorry, Michelle. Hi, I heard you.
I'm on the phone. Oh, okay.
Um, but we also don't have. I almost say Ricardo now because I've seen that name in running. Yeah, so we don't have Ricky either because he's traveling.
But he left a good update.
So the update is on the wiki essentially. Just take a look at that for the development stuff. And I'm assuming that no one else has any additional updates around development. And then Braum, I don't know where Braum is. I guess there are a lot of people short today.
Braum's doing something. I saw him mention on Twitter. He went somewhere. He's in Jakarta for something or another. I don't know.
Okay, so that's fine. We have the updates on UX is also on the wiki. He had
We're gonna have a short meeting.
Yeah, it might be a short meeting. I don't know, but so the thing is that he submitted a proposal for the ask a question flow. That I think he's asking for feedback. I took a very quick look, so I can't really. I was kind of wishing that he would ask or that he would clarify what type of feedback he's looking for because I don't know exactly. And I'd like to understand more the background of designing it the way it's designed. But on the surface, it looks good to me. But obviously, I want to dig a little deeper before I provide my feedback. So, Brahm, if you're seeing this in retrospect, I hope you have a good time wherever you are right now. And if you can clarify the feedback that you want, I and everyone else, I'm assuming, will be able to provide you better feedback. I don't know if anyone else has any UX or feedback that you want to share right now.
The only thing, so Brahm and Matt and Vito, and I think mostly Brahm had been working on the task landing pages on Alizom, mocking them up. And so I've been going through them for the last few days. There were some parts that still needed to be made up. There's like like it's a bajillion pages. I think it's almost done. There's one more section to go over, which is the like fixing problems. So I want to try to integrate all the stuff that we currently have on our front page about fixing problems, make sure that's all integrated. But that should be ready to copy and paste to production this week, so which should be cool.
Okay. Great. I already sort of almost mentioned it, but it hasn't been official until now. So I should officially mention two things. First off, we see Roland joining the Sumo meeting, which is great. Sumo, Roland has been working on Thunderbird support for
2.5 years.
3 years now?
Almost.
Was that
2.5?
Almost 3 years, yeah. And so, but he's always sort of been this working from his own island, or he's been more kind of part of the Thunderbird team than the support team. And so now he's more formally integrating himself with the Sumo team. He will still be primarily working on Thunderbird, and he will interact day to day with the Thunderbird team, but he will also integrate with the rest of the Sumo team. And the hope is that both sides will benefit from this. We will benefit from Roland's experiences with Thunderbird, and Roland might learn some things from the way we do Firefox support. And so the idea is to generally just work more closely together, and have more synergy as a result. So welcome, Roland. Before I get back to you, I also wanted to quickly mention that as of today, Matt Grimes is hired as part of the SUMO team. So, woohoo! Yeah, hopefully you'll be able to see this afterwards, Matt. the excessive amount of excitement in that woohoo. But so yeah, and I think everyone here knows him. He's been volunteering for at least the last 6 months. So he's a friend of the Sumo family since a long time ago. But now he's also on the paid staff. So we're very excited about that, and we hope to see him joining the Sumo team next week. He's on the new hire intro. So welcome to both Roland and Matt. And Roland, since you're here, if you want to maybe you wanted to give a quick intro of yourself, say something that we didn't know about you.
Okay. Like David said, I'm working on Thunderbird support since July of 2009, and I'm very happy to be part of the Sumo team because it is a bit lonely being a one-man team, and it's kind of like the mysterious force off to the side for you guys, and it would be great to be formally. And it's worked out really well. Like we have on the Thunderbird team, we have the build person, John Hopkins, who has a similar sort of arrangement, and it's worked out really well. We've helped each other. Firefox has benefited from John, and John has benefited from Firefox and Thunderbird as well. So I've been working on open source support since 2004. I worked in Drupal company, and we use Cerberus Help Desk as our support vehicle. And I've been working on Thunderbird, and it's great. I love open source, and I love the social web. And I will first and foremost be working with Kadir on scoping out the requirements for a hopeful possible integration with Thunderbird with Sumo. And then hopefully maybe with Michael, Rosanna, and Madalena. Did I get those names right? Yes. Because my sister's name is Madeline, so it's confusing. Madalena.
Yeah,
and
take some practice.
On having a Thunderbird support clinic. I'd also like to attend the next, or observe or help out with the next Firefox support clinic, wherever it may be. Because I think that would be a good perspective for me to have and to help out, just to be like a normal contributor. And I'm also heavily into writing reports and queries using the Get Satisfaction API, which we use instead of Kitsune Forum. So I'd love to talk to Matt and Chang about that. And I'll be talking to each of you, hopefully, for 20 minutes. Hopefully it's not too much. You have some time in the next couple of weeks about how we can help each other with overflow or overlapping areas. And also, things you don't know about me, well, I love cross-country skiing. I should be Swedish. So if we have a work week in Vancouver, I'd be willing to give a lesson on cross-country skiing, although I'm not as good as that famous Bjorn guy, who is from Sweden, the amazing cross-country skier that we all worship here in the cult of cross-country skiing in Canada.
Yeah. Well, I'm Swedish. I'm not into that, so don't feel like you have. You're. I feel like I'm I suck in comparison.
No, it's okay. I always tell people, I had, a previous life I had Norwegian or Swedish grandfather, or I was Swedish or Norwegian in a previous life, which is why I like cross-country skiing. There's got to be a reason. I also had another Swedish connection. Is I also Lindy Hop swing dance, and that is the Swedish people, for some strange reason, are the best instructors on the planet at Lindy Hop swing dancing, next to the original Black Americans.
Huh.
That's good to know.
That is very good information. I have to say, that was something that I didn't know about you or Sweden. So thanks for sharing that.
I can't believe it. They're called the Harlem Hotshots or something. They're based out of Sweden. They're fantastic. They basically have recreated all the black dance moves from the 20s and 30s and 40s.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I have to check that out.
I'll send you a link.
You're more than welcome to visit Sweden. Let me know if you do. I'm sure you would fit in like a glove by the sound of your description.
Oh, the other thing is, well, you come in winter. We should have I know you might not want to come to Vancouver in the winter if you guys aren't skiers, but we have a nice new office in Vancouver opening June the 1st. It will be like a mini version of Toronto, so I think it will be suitable for a work week if you have time, resources, and If that works visa-wise for everyone, I don't know. Anyways,
Something to keep in mind for sure. Yeah. I think the consensus from last time we were in Toronto was that it was too bloody cold, and everyone was like, "But can't we do it in Hawaii instead?" But of course, that's not going to happen. So just on the record.
far.
But yeah, so let's keep it under consideration. Thanks for the quick introduction, Roland, and again, welcome to the team. I'm excited about having you more formally integrated with our processes and our workflow. So this is great to have you here.
Thank you.
All right, so let's move on. Roundtable. I see 2 items added by SATDAV. The first one is just a reminder that there's the IRC meeting that will happen next Thursday. Next Thursday, is that this week or next week?
I think it's the following week.
The next week, okay.
Yeah.
May 10th. So please attend that. The other question is a question about whether we could get a redirect on firefox.com/support. And I guess a reminder would be in place to focus on the problem that we're trying to solve. So I'd like to take a step back and figure out why would we need that redirect in the first place? Are people actually manually trying to enter that URL? And if so, how many? I would doubt that a lot of people do that. So I guess my quick answer to you, that would be, yes, we could do it, but I don't think we have to. And I don't think we should spend the time to do it. Unless, we have some data that can prove that a lot of people are manually navigating to that URL, which I think is not really happening. Does that make sense? If you have, I guess you're online on IRC, so if you have follow-up questions or comments at that, just ping, we can pick the discussion up. If other people have comments and questions about it, let me know. Or speak up,
Is this something we can just look up in Web Trends too and see?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know if it tracks pages that don't exist. It doesn't exist, right? So I don't even know if, or maybe it does. I don't know.
No, you get a 404. But I'm just saying.
Yeah, so
you can probably look up 404s like by.
Yeah, that should be possible, I guess. Yeah.
But I don't know if Firefox.com is one of the things listed in Web Trends.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I think it's just a redirect. So I don't think so. I think Ibai right. It's just a HTTP redirect. And so, I mean, the solution wouldn't be, we could spend a lot of time talking about the merits of doing this or not, but the reality is that I don't think it's needed. So I'm not going to ask IT to do something unless it's on the critical path and it's something that is actually in solving an important problem. And I don't think it is in this case. So that's why I don't think we should do it. All right. Any other roundtable topics? You know what? Last week, I think we had an unusually short meeting. We were able to finish the meeting within only 55 minutes. Let's see if we can break a new record here. But let's move on to the knowledge base. Or sorry, am I skipping something here?
Metrics. I don't know.
Yes, sorry, metrics. So Kadir's not here. We could take a look at the KPI dashboards. I think we should do that every week anyway to see where things are trending. But I haven't done that until now, so I'm a little bit unprepared for it.
94%
for some reason,
of questions from Friday
responded to.
No, sorry, 96.8. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's getting. It looks like, I don't know if it's a trend or it's just noise, but it looks like it's going down again, or maybe it's not. Maybe it's just spiking. Yeah, it's probably just spiking a few weeks ago.
Well, we've had a whole bunch of extra questions this last week because of the release, and the percentage doesn't look like of stuff responded to hasn't really, it was low on one day, April 24th, on that Tuesday, but it's gone all the way back up to really high, 96.8.
Yeah. So another thing that might be trending, but it might also be noise. Again, this is something that I think is difficult with all of these graphs is that it's hard for me to say what is noise and what is not noise. So you have to look at either a very long period of time, or you have to see a very significant spike in order to be somewhat sure that it's not noise. But if I look at the L10N coverage at the very bottom of the page, it looks like it's slowly increasing. But it could just be noise. Same thing with daily unique visitors. It also looks like it's on an upward trend. So we're getting more traffic to the site. But one thing in general, like one comment that I have about the KPI dashboard is that I find it a little bit distracting that you're always seeing a downward pointing graph at the very end of the spectrum. And I guess that's because that week or day or whatever hasn't fully populated. But I'm wondering, would it be possible to just omit that somehow? Like, couldn't we just not show that in order to not? Yeah, because it just looks crazy that it's always kind of ending or going down again at the very end when it's really not.
I wondered about that
So,
too.
yeah, I think it's, if it's possible to just truncate that last part, I think it would make for better graphs and would make it more actionable to me. Because I always have to think about, okay, so that part I should probably ignore, but what about the day before that, the data point before that? Is that a trend or not? And so it's kind of distracting. Like number of helpful votes, it looks like it's going up, but then the last week is going down again, and I'm
No,
not sure if
that's
that's
month.
just
So it's
right. But
actually
April
down.
isn't. It's actually tracking down.
Yeah, because
Oh,
that's
because it's a
average.
percentage.
Yeah, so
Yeah, that's a percentage.
that's something to worry about.
Okay, so that was a bad example then.
Yes.
But you know but the other thing is the questions at the very top. That I think
Yeah.
that's the most dramatic example of how it's just a little bit frustrating. So anyway, that's maybe not something for discussion for this meeting, but it's something that might be a simple fix to just remove that last data point. Okay. Any other comments about metrics today? Michelle, do you have anything about mobile that you wanted to talk about?
We can't hear you.
Yeah, you're muted.
No.
Nope. Okay. we're just shaking our heads instead of talking because we know she can't hear. It's funny how social we are as human beings. Sympathizing with the muting even. Can we get back to you, Michelle? Like, just try things until we can hear you, and then we can just go back.
Can you hear me now?
Yay!
Oh, there you go.
Yay. Okay. So the mobile metrics script is working again. It's actually not been working for a long time. So Cheng fixed it, which is awesome. So I'm getting all my data again. I mean, there's nothing that unique except that I think we've sort of doubled the number of going to that start page since it wasn't working. So probably for Mobile Congress and the press we've gotten from Firefox Mobile. So we're getting 24,000 people there on the mobile start page a week, which is cool. Questions to the forum is pretty static. We're still between 20 and 40 questions a week. So nothing too exciting there. But on the forum for Sumo Day last week, thanks for everyone who helped out last week. We were getting a lot of questions on Wednesday, so I called Audible on Wednesday afternoon and asked moderators and the forum helpers to go ahead and do a Sumo Day, even though Madalena was out of town on Thursday. Everyone pitched in and did a great job helping out, and we did, by my account, we answered over 9% of the questions on Thursday. So thanks everyone for your contributions.
Yeah. That's great.
I expect it to be a busy week this week also.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Michelle. Any metrics, topics, questions, thoughts, comments? All right, let's move on to, well, community is empty. The plan for Rosanna and Madalena to give a quick presentation of their impressions of the Moss camps, but I don't know. Maybe there was some miscommunication, or maybe they maybe something happened. But they're both offline, so it looks like we're gonna have to postpone that to next week, unfortunately. But so no other updates as far as I can tell from on community. Does anyone else have stuff?
Ricky noted in his about stuff about needing to have better localization tools for article updates.
Yeah, so I mean that was part of the stuff that Madeline and Rosanna were supposed to talk about. So I think let's say that discussion for next week, because then also Cheng will be back. No, Cheng won't be back, but Kadir will also be back. So that will make that discussion better. All right. So in the
I
meantime, let's
guess
move on. Sorry.
for my part, another thanks for the localizers who are working on mobile content. I see a lot of the mobile page content is getting localized, so thanks for your help with that. We're getting close with the new Firefox Mobile, so I appreciate everyone doing those translations.
And Michelle, the beta is like, are they trying to push that thing already? Is it almost? It sounded like they were trying to do it this week and it didn't happen, but it's almost happening.
Are we going to the mobile section? Okay. So they were going to uplift everything to Aurora this week, or on Friday. Didn't make it. They pulled back for a couple of things that they're looking at, and so it looks like we may be out one more week before we actually get to beta. We were planning on the 8th for beta, and now I think we're looking at the 12th. So the uplift you're talking about was for just getting to Aurora, and we haven't quite done the final release candidate for Aurora yet. But they're doing demos to executives this week, and I think they'll make a decision on it this week. Does that answer your question?
Yep.
Do we want to go back and talk about knowledge base, and then did you have other updates around mobile?
Nope.
Okay.
The biggest thing I wanted to say, I mean, you can just read that stuff. The biggest thing, and I meant to do this on Friday and didn't get to it, but the titles and slugs and the summaries style guide workshop thing seems to have it. I think to finish them off, they need some more participation. So if you're interested, you have time. There's some exercises in the first post of each one. You can see, like, it gives you, try to retitle these articles, or try to write a summary for these articles. And so if you have a moment and you would like to give that a try, that could be helpful. The idea is just to, here are the kind of rules for things to think about when you come up with a title or a summary, and see how they apply to SUMO articles. And so that's the kind of big thing. That and Firefox 13 articles have to get nailed down.
Okay. And related to that, Matt is, of course, presumably helping you with a lot of these things this week too, right?
I'll talk to him later today about those things too. Yeah.
So Matt has basically a plan. He has basically two plans, one from Cheng, one from Michael. So he's going to work on support analytics and getting ramped up there. Of course, also Michelle is helping a lot with that these couple of weeks when Cheng is gone. But the idea is that Matt will ramp up and navigate himself around this Mozilla maze of stuff that he needs to learn. And then meanwhile, he's also working together with Michael on content strategy work and participating. And he's done this for the last few weeks already. So he will have more time to do it now. That's really the only difference than he had before. So between those two plans, he will be fully ramped up in 2 weeks from now. The reason why I can say that is because he's not here. We'll see. But anyway, we're obviously very excited to have him. Okay. Any updates around services support forum? No?
Not from my side.
Ricky says
Okay.
that no, whatever it is, the no replies bug is fixed. I haven't looked, but that's awesome because that's annoying as heck.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man.
There is a thread, but it says that it will only fix the thread that we will be like it's from now on, but it's not like the previous ones are not gonna be fixed.
Got it.
By the way, if you can, I think this is mostly for. It might mostly be for Michelle this time. I think, but if you can update the wiki page if you haven't already done it with the updates that you had about release dates and the state of beta, that would be good.
Yep, I'll do that.
Perfect. All right. Well, this is amazing. 30 minutes. Does anyone have anything else to talk about? I don't know what to do. Like I have this 30-minute block now, which is completely unblocked. Who wants to talk to me? Let me know.
Well, Michael, we should maybe talk about the landing pages and the putting up the desktop stuff this week, if you're really interested in doing that.
Yep. And we didn't get to talk Friday because I got all distracted doing that stuff too. So we should.
Okay.
Oh, one last thing from me. Tomorrow is a day off, so in Sweden, and I think, possibly in Europe. I'm not sure.
I think it's Europe in general.
Yeah.
So that means that me, Rosanna, Madalena, and Kadir will all be off.
And
But I'm not
Cheng's
sure.
gone
And
too,
Cheng.
right?
Cheng is gone. So you have to work for all of us. Is what that means. All right. Anyway, have a great week. Have a great rest of your Monday, and see you online.